Hello everybody, and welcome again to another daily edition of Blaine's Beach Guide. We are leaving out of Cherry Grove, headed westbound, and we're going to get on today. We're going to get on Highway 17 North, and we're going to go up into the Little River area and show you the route you'll be taking if you leave out of here to go north. If you're, say, taking a trip from somewhere else and come in from the west or the south and are going to be proceeding north further after you leave this area. This is also how you would want to go to Wilmington, North Carolina if you're in the Myrtle Beach area and that area begins to interest you. My wife and I have been up there several times. There's some really lovely homes right around the port area in the old section. It's very interesting. And then this again is the Intercoastal Waterway we're going over. A lot of boats out on the water. I did drive down the boulevard earlier, and the beach is a lot busier today than it has been even the last few days. Most likely it's because it is the end of the season coming up and everybody's trying to get the last few days in before school starts. Here's the divide. Stay left if you want to go west into Loris Dillon, I-95, further points into South Carolina. You stay right here and you're going north on Highway 17 into Wilmington, North Carolina. We're out of North Myrtle Beach city limits again and out in the county, but we're actually in a little township. It's not a, per se, incorporated town, but it's very commonly known as Little River. There's a main intersection up here that goes down to the water. There's docks along the Intercoastal Waterway where used to be a lot of fishing boats came in locally and supplied the majority of the fresh local seafood here. Now I believe there's more of it's located up in North Carolina further, in some bigger areas. There's also the only gambling that you can legally do in the Myrtle Beach area is up here. We have some gambling boats that take you out into international waters. I believe they leave around 11 a.m. and come back around 4 and then back again out in the afternoon around 6 or 7 p.m. till about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. They leave a little later on the weekends, I believe. It's about noon when they pull out on Saturdays and Sundays. But you can basically find, Las Vegas style blackjack tables, poker, slot machines of an enormous variety of different kinds of games. I haven't been on the boat lately. I understand since last time my wife and I have gone, companies have changed hands and they've acquired some new boats, so we're probably going to try and take that soon. I don't believe they're going to allow me to tape there, at least not yet. Hopefully once this goes a little further and some people are enjoying this channel and subscribing and following, maybe I can get them to let me do just small brief glimpses inside so you'll be able to see what it looks like. Here's a couple. This is a marina right here on our right. It's Coquina Harbor, and then there's a restaurant right here named Clark's. It's got a patio bar and a deck area out there where you can dine right on the waterfront of the Coquina Harbor. There's 2 more golf courses here. One right here, you take a left at this light and you're at River Hills Golf Course. Just a little bit further up on the right is Eastport. Eastport was actually the first golf course I myself actually ever worked at. I've been employed at several different golf courses here in the area, but I was working here within about a month and a half, 2 months of them initially opening for business. It was an interesting experience working on a golf course. We're going to try and get you through some of these as well for those golfers out there that want to see what's going on. We're going to try and visit a variety of courses and see if we can do a quick preview. I'm going to try and talk to some course managers and so forth. I know some superintendents from working in the industry, so I'm going to try and see if I can get some previews of the more scenic holes and or the tougher holes to play, and see what results we can get there for people that want to see that type of thing. There's not a whole lot in the Little River area. Again, it's just an unincorporated area. There's a few businesses here. CVS, there's some animal clinics. There's a Burger King up here. A few small assorted businesses. But it's, again, just a little empty area at the very north end of South Carolina before you cross the state line going into North Carolina. And we're going to make probably a couple different videos today that we'll post over the next several days following this one. Different areas we're going to cover. The weather's pretty nice. We've got some rain coming in this next week. I'm going to make it kind of damp and dreary, so I have the time today. I'm going to try and go ahead and go around a few areas and get a few places covered. We're not going to go much further here. We're basically going to show you, those of you who've never gone this way or come this far north out of Myrtle Beach, the state line. This is Little River here off to the right. Down there is where the gambling boat and the other restaurants and seafood houses and so forth are. Just a few small shops and stores here for local residents. Bulk of it. Shopping, majority of people go into either North Myrtle all the way down to Myrtle Beach for. Up ahead, there'll be a turnoff to go to Calabash, North Carolina, across the state line. We're not going to go that way today. We'll take you there on another trip. We're just going to go straight across the state line into North Carolina on 17 and probably come back, going back another direction once we come back to North Carolina. There's two more golf courses here. Glendornoch is here on your right, and Heather Glen is up on your left, you'll see on our way back in. Glendornoch is one of the few golf courses in the area that is just a golf course. The majority of them are built in fashion so that there's a neighborhood around them, and they're basically enclosed like Tidewater in a neighborhood of some type. Glendornoch and Heather Glen at one point were the only two that were not. However, they have started building around Heather Glen as well, so it actually has some condos and townhouses now that have, from what I understand, golf course views. Glendornoch, because of where it was built along the Intercoastal Waterway and other protected areas, there's no extra room for housing. So it's strictly just a golf course in the middle of the woods, basically. And coming up at the top of this big hill, we leave South Carolina, going into North Carolina. Excuse me. And the first thing we'll come into here is we go into North Carolina. We come into a little, very small town. I actually have worked here as well in the past. Here we are at the state line. Welcome to North Carolina. And we're going to take trips up this way as well. Like I said, I don't believe we're going to go all the way to Wilmington. And I say this is the beach guide of the Grand Strand. Grand Strand, according to Wikipedia, is the 60 miles of sandy beach, uninterrupted, broken sandy beach, from Little River down to the Georgetown area. Local residents have made mention that, and that's where I made the mentions myself at the beginning of this series, that the Grand Strand is Southport down to Georgetown, because there are a lot of beaches and areas up there in Southport, Ocean Isle Beach, Sunset Beach, and they all also get a lot of tourists and people that come for the same reason that people come to Myrtle Beach but don't want quite the crowd, so they come up to what they feel are less crowded beaches, and they're just as nice. And like I said, most of the people I've talked to consider all of that area the Grand Strand. So that's what we're going to still show you, is eventually we're going to make it all the way up to Southport, North Carolina, and it's about 40 miles, 35 to 40 miles north of here. From where we're sitting right now to go down to Georgetown is approximately 65 to 70 miles. And we're crossing into the Carolina Shores area. This is their little town here off to the right. And this is where I'm basically going to pause it or stop it in this video and go back down toward North Myrtle Beach again in a different area, and we're going to start a second video. Hope y'all enjoy this. I hope y'all enjoy this series. Like I said, I'm going to try to make sure there's a video out here posted every day showing a different area. Some of it's just going to be driving. I hope I don't bore you with it. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just trying to help by giving people that don't have any idea that are coming here can go back through these videos and look and familiarize themselves with the area before ever coming here, learn some of the shortcuts, and just be able to get around better and a little easier. So we're going to make a U-E and go back toward North Myrtle, and we'll see y'all in the next video. Everybody have a good one. Thanks.